The neon sign flickered like it was fighting to stay alive. Gas food open 24 hours. Except it didn't look open. Not really. It was just past midnight when Daniel Carter pulled off Route 17. His car low on fuel and his patience running even lower. The road had been empty for miles, no cars, no lights, just darkness stretching endlessly across the desert. This was the only place for 50 miles. The gas station stood alone, surrounded by silence. One pump was working. The rest were wrapped in caution tape, swaying slightly in the wind. Daniel stepped out of his car, the cold air hitting him harder than expected. He glanced around. No other cars. No sound, just the faint buzz of electricity and the creaking of the station's old metal roof. Great, he muttered. Perfect place for a breakdown. He swiped his card at the pump. Declined. Of course. He tried again. Declined. Daniel sighed and looked toward the small convenience store attached to the station. The lights inside were dim, but they were on. He walked toward the door, the gravel crunching under his shoes, louder than it should have been. As he reached for the handle, he noticed the door was already slightly open. He pushed it gently. A small bell rang above the door. Inside, the air felt off, heavy like the place hadn't been alive in years. Shelves were half empty. Dust coated the edges of products. The refrigerator hummed loudly, louder than necessary, as if trying to fill the silence. Behind the counter stood a man. He didn't move. "Hello," Daniel said. The man slowly looked up. His face was pale, almost gray, under the fluorescent lights. His eyes looked tired, too tired. "Evening," the man said in a slow, flat voice. Daniel forced a smile. "Pumps. Not taking my card." The man nodded once. "Cash only?" Daniel paused. "You serious? Been that way a while." Daniel checked his wallet. A few crumpled bills. "Just enough. Fine. 20 on pump 1. The man didn't move immediately. He just stared at Daniel for a second too long, like he was studying him. Then, finally, he reached for the register. As Daniel waited, he noticed the wall behind the counter. There were photos, old ones, Polaroids. People smiling in front of the gas station. Families. Travelers. Truck drivers. All of them. Standing exactly where Daniel was standing now. Busy place, back in the day. Huh? Daniel? Sai. The cashier didn't respond. Instead, he said quietly, "People pass through." Daniel frowned slightly. "Yeah, that's kind of the point." No reaction. The register beeped. "Pump's ready." Daniel nodded, took the receipt, and headed back outside. The wind had picked up. Stronger now, the neon sign buzzed louder, flickering faster. Daniel started pumping gas. The numbers ticked slowly, like even the machine didn't want to work tonight. He looked back at the store. The cashier was still there, watching, not moving. Daniel turned away quickly. "Just my imagination," he muttered. The pump clicked. Done. He got back into his car, started the engine, and pulled away from the station. But as he drove off, something felt wrong. The road ahead didn't look the same. The signs were gone, the mile markers missing. Daniel slowed down. What the hell? He checked his rearview mirror. The gas station was still there, closer than it should have been. Much closer. He frowned and kept driving. A minute passed, then 5. Still the same stretch of road. Still no turnoffs. And the gas station was still behind him. That's not possible. He pressed the gas pedal harder. The engine roared, but the road didn't change. Panic started creeping in. He grabbed his phone. No signal. Of course. He looked ahead again and suddenly the gas station was in front of him, right there. Same neon sign. Same broken pumps. Daniel slammed the brakes. The car skidded slightly before stopping. No. 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 His breathing got heavier. This isn't real. But it was. Because the door of the store slowly opened, and the cashier stepped outside, standing under the flickering light. Waiting, Daniel sat frozen in his seat. The man raised one hand and waved. Not friendly, not welcoming. Just inevitable. Daniel shook his head. No, I'm not going back there. He turned the wheel sharply and drove past the station again. The road stretched ahead end for a moment. It looked normal. Then darkness swallowed everything. The headlights flickered. The engine sputtered. And the car died. Completely. Silence. Then slowly, he looked up. The gas station lights flickered back on, right in front of him. Closer than ever. The door was open, and now, the cashier wasn't alone. Behind him stood others, the people from the photos. Smiling, waiting. Daniel's voice trembled. "What is this place?" The cashier spoke again, his voice echoing slightly. "Last stop." Daniel shook his head. "I just need gas. That's it." The cashier tilted his head. "You already got it." Daniel's heart dropped. Then why am I still here? The cashier's expression didn't change. "Because you never leave." The wind howled. The neon sign buzzed violently, and one by one, the lights inside the station turned off until only the sign remained. Flickering, calling, waiting. And somewhere on Route 17, another car approached, low on fuel. Driver tired, looking for a place to stop. The neon sign flickered again. Opened 24 hours.